Good morning students. In this video we are going to discuss about another chapter, strategies for enhancement in food production. So subtopic animal husbandry. Let's enter into today's class. With ever increasing population of the world, enhancement of food production is a major necessity, isn't it? Biological principles as applied to animal husbandry and plant breeding have a major role in our efforts to increase food production. Several new techniques like embryo transfer technology and tissue culture techniques are going to play a major role in further increasing food production. Understood? So these two areas are playing a major role in today's world to increase the food production. When the population is increasing, to reach the population, these two areas are increasing a lot to increase the food production. And in this video we are going to discuss about a detailed study on animal husbandry. Let's see what is meant by animal husbandry. First of all, animal husbandry is an agricultural practice of breeding and raising livestock, isn't it? It's a one more question, very important. I repeat once again, animal husbandry is an agricultural practice of breeding and raising livestock. As such, it is a vital skill for farmers and is as much science as it is art. Animal husbandry deals with the care and breeding of livestock like buffaloes, cows, pigs, horses, cattle, sheep, camels, goats, etc. that are useful to humans. Okay, extended it includes poultry farming and fisheries. Okay, now let us see what is meant by fisheries. Fisheries includes rearing, catching, selling, etc. of fish and even molluscs such as shellfish and crustaceans such as prawns, crabs, etc. Since the time immemorial, animals like bees, silkworms, prawns, crabs, fishes, birds, pigs, cattle, sheep and camels have been used by humans for products like milk, eggs, meat, wool, silk, honey, etc. Okay, and we are all using these products in our regular life practices along with other plant products. It is estimated that more than 70% of the world livestock population is in India and China only. See what a great contribution it is. However, it is a major contribution to the world. And apart from this, we are also going to learn in this video about dairy farm management. First of all, let us see what is meant by dairy farm management. Surprisingly, a note that the contribution of the world farm products is only 25%. It is the productivity per unit is very low. Hence, in addition to conventional practices of animal breeding and care, newer technologies are also have been applied to achieve improvement in quality and productivity of the food. Understood? So now students, let us discuss about in detail regarding dairy farm management. What is meant by dairy farm management? You can see on the screen definition for dairy farm management. It is also very important for PU board examinations. A professional approach to what have been traditional practices of farm management gives the much needed boost to our food production. Let us discuss some of the management procedures and employed in various animal farm systems. Dairying is the management of animals for milk and its products for human consumption. Understand? In dairy farm management, we deal with processes and systems that increases yield and improve quality of milk. Milk yield is primarily dependent on the quality of breeds in the farm. Selection of good breeds having high yielding potential, it is very important role in increasing milk products of the dairy farm management. Understood? And under the climatic conditions of a particular area, combined with the resistance to diseases is very important also, because we have to look both the resistance varieties and as well as high yielding breeds also. And for a yield potential to resistant, the cattle have to be well looked after. They have to be household well, should have adequate water, and maintain diseases free system also, and the feeding of cattle should be carried out in a scientific manner as well. Understood? Let us see what aspects are included in this, with special emphasis on the quality and quantity fodder. Besides, strict cleanliness and hygiene also should be maintained, both for cattle and as well as handlers also should maintain hygiene. Otherwise, diseases can easily attack to the cattle. There are the two paramount importance while milking. Understand what are those two paramount importance events? Cleanliness of the both the cattle and as well as handlers. Handlers means nothing but persons or farmers who are handling those. And storage and transport of milk is also very, very important. And next, one more. Nowadays, of course, much of these processes have become mechanized. Machines are doing these works. Mechanized systems are not well adapted by the rural farmers compared with the urban farmers. So this is because rural farmers should adapt two important paramount strategies such as cleanliness of the cattle and as well as cleanliness of the farmers, even handlers also. Ensuring these measures would of course require regular inspections also. Understand? With proper record keeping, it would also help to identifying and rectifying the problems as early as possible. Regular visits by a veterinary doctor would be also mandatory. Understand? So this can be used a lot to the farmers to increase the milk and milk products in dairy farm management. And in this video we are going to discuss in detail regarding even poultry farm management. Let us see what is meant by poultry farm management in detail. Poultry is the class of domesticated fowl birds used for food or for their eggs. Of course, we are seeing this poultry farm management in villages and cities also in a larger scale. Hope you have seen these poultry farms in recent periods. And of course, commonly hearing a disease is it's nothing but bird flu also regarded to this poultry farm management only. Let us discuss in detail regarding this poultry farm management. The word poultry is often used to refer the meat of only these birds. Then what are those birds? But in more general sense, it may refer to the meat of other birds also. Then what could be those birds? Like turkeys and even hens and pigeons and ducks, etc., included in this farm management. As in dairy farming, selection of disease-free and suitable breeds is an important technique. Proper sanitization and farm conditions also should be very important, and proper area should be important to grow in a large scale these birds for meat and eggs also. And water supply is also a very important strategy, and as well as hygienic conditions should be maintained by the farmers, and hygiene should be present even in the farm also. Hygiene and health care are important components of poultry farm management. Remember, what are those? Hygiene and health care are important. These are the two important components of the poultry farm management. Understood? In recent days, we are hearing about one common disease, bird flu virus. What it is exactly? Let us talk about in detail. See students, many of the birds are affected by the viruses, and the meat and eggs products are drastically decreasing. Even the birds are even dying because of the viruses. These viruses are generally noticed by the scientists. They are causing drastic decreasing in food production. You may have seen TV and newspapers and TV news, or read in newspapers also about bird flu viruses, which created a scare in country and as well as drastically affected the eggs and chicken consumption also, isn't it? Then what about it is exactly? It is nothing but caused by the virus and increasing the consumption of, and the farmers are also as well as affecting with this drastically and decreasing the consumption of eggs and meat. And now let us see in detail about this one. Animal breeding. What is meant by animal breeding in detail? Breeding of animals is an important aspect of animal husbandry. Animal breeding aims at increasing the yield of animals and improving the desirable qualities of the products. And what are those actually? Let us discuss in detail. What do we understand by the term breed? It is important question for PU board examination. Let us discuss. A group of animals related by descent and similar in most of characters like general appearance, features, size, configuration, etc. are said to belong to a breed. So the same concept we had a discussion in first chapter also, reproduction in organisms. What is meant by breed? So group of organisms which are morphologically and genetically similar to each other. So external features and as well as internal genetic characters are also similar with each other. They are said to be breed or breeds. Understand? So now when breeding is between animals of the same breed, it is called as inbreeding. While crosses takes place between different breeds, then that is called as outbreeding. Understand? So these two definitions are very important. I repeat once again, inbreeding and outbreeding. When breeding takes place between same breed is nothing but called as inbreeding. when the crosses takes place between two different kinds of breeds, it's called as outbreeding. Understand? So now let us see in detail regarding each one. First of all, I would like to tell you about in detail regarding inbreeding. Inbreeding refers to the mating of more closely related individuals within the same breed for 4 to 6 generations. Understood? So the breeding strategy is as follows. Superior males and superior females of the same breed are identified by the farmers and mated in pairs. The progeny obtained from such matings are evolved, and superior males and the females among them are identified for further mating. Understood? A superior female in such case of cattle is the cow or buffalo that produces more milk as per general cows during lactation time. On the other hand, the superior male is the bull, which gives rise a superior progeny as compared to those of other males. Understand? So this is nothing but one important strategy in inbreeding. So we have to identify the highly evolved and superior breeds for this process. Next, try to recollect the homozygous pure lines developed by the Mendels as discussed in chapter 5, Principles of Inheritance, Genetics chapter. Understand, in that chapter we had a discussion regarding homozygosity in detail. Here also we are going to discuss homozygosity in brief. Let us see what is meant by homozygosity. A similar strategy is used for developing pure lines in cattle as well as used in case of peas. Inbreeding increases homozygosity. Understand? Thus, inbreeding is necessity if we want to evolve a pure line in any animal. Understand? Inbreeding exposes harmful recessive genes that are eliminated by selection. Okay, it also helps in accumulation of superior genes and elimination of less desirable genes. Therefore, this approach, where there is a selection at each step, increases the productivity of inbreed population. However, continued inbreeding capacity, close inbreeding usually reduces fertility and even productivity also. We knew this concept already. We had a discussion in sexual reproduction flowering plants chapter, right? So this is called inbreeding depression. So when we undergone continuously inbreeding process for generations together, what may happen? And it reduces the fertility and even productivity also. So this phenomenon is called as inbreeding depression. This is also very important. Please remember. Understand? Next, whenever this becomes a problem, selected animals of the breeding population should be mated. Then this process can be identified with further phenomenon. Generally, this inbreeding depression can be seen in close family members' marriages. When marriages happen for generations together among the close relatives and especially blood relatives, this inbreeding depression takes place. Understood? So with unrelated superior animals of the same breed, this usually helps restore fertility and yield also. Understood? So students, with this I am going to end this video. In next class we will discuss in detail regarding outbreeding concept. Hope you understood this one. Thank you one and all.